Hey you, stop scrolling. I'm going to show you how the world governments know exactly who we are, but unfortunately because our people don't read, we don't know who we are. This is going to be a multi-part series, and I'm simply going to read the documents to you so that there's no excuse. The first document that I'm going to read is going to be House Resolution 1203. This document was placed into legislation by Representative Mabel Thomas of Atlanta, Georgia, 56th District. A resolution recognizing January 8th to the 15th, 2014 as the Moorish American Holy Week at the state capitol and for other purposes. Whereas the Moorish Americans, whose ancient forefathers are the mothers and fathers of the human family, stand in these days as a committee of descendants from the ancient Moabites and Canaanites who were permitted by the old pharaohs of Kemet to traverse from East Africa and later form kingdoms extending from the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa and the Atlantic Islands onto the present-day continental Americas. You see, during those days, the old pharaohs of Kemet were located in this area that we currently call Egypt, here up in northeast Africa. And those pharaohs permitted the Moabites and the Canaanites to move over to this area in West Africa, all up and down the coast. Now, wait a minute. Isn't it common knowledge that the majority of so-called black people came over here during the transatlantic slave trade were brought over from western shores of Africa? Let's continue reading. Starting from line 8, whereas the Moorish Americans are teaching their people their true nationality and divine creed that they may become better citizens and know that they are not Negroes, colored folk, black people, nor Afros, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865. In this era of time, as all nations are seeking peace, the indigenous Moorish people of the Americas are now united to link themselves with a family of nations. And let's pause for a second. You see, the word negro or negro also means black from Spanish to English. And generally, when our people are classifying themselves, they're doing it based off their skin color. But with their own two eyes, you can tell that our skin actually isn't black at all. It's more of a brown, isn't it? Basic logic will tell you that you're not black. Whereas the Moorish Americans, being aboriginal to the territories of North, Central, and South America, have formed a sovereign theocratic government guided by the command principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, through virtue of the universal right to self-determination, as well as with the Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples guaranteed in the UN Charter. Stay tuned for part 2 as we break down the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and how that all pertains to the United Nations Charter, bringing it all back to this resolution right here. Peace and love, family.